ready to rumble.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose
From the home of the Fishers Tigers, it is time for the second day in a row of Indiana All-Star Basketball. This time it is the Indiana Futures games, North versus South. First the girls, then the boys on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game brought to us in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. Ed Martin, the only name that you need to know. By Galitco and Daly, Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at indianaworkers.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools, now open to students outside of the HSE district. Learn more at hseschools.org. By Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance in Avon. Call Nathan Begley today and let's insurance together. And by Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Check out unrnkd.com. Alongside Jan Bozier, Greg Rakestraw with you, and this game is in its third year of being played. This is a way to, again, the juniors kind of identify the seniors. This is a chance to recognize the top freshmen and sophomores in the state. And Jan, let's face it, it's more basketball for us. We never complain about that.
I love it. Listen, and we've seen a lot of these girls, Greg, and you wouldn't be here unless you were good. But today we're going to say who has those intangibles, who could be that next girl, maybe from this group, that will play like Makaleski on Saturday.
And frankly, we saw several of these players that are now sophomores as freshmen playing in this game last year at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Some of these players we've seen because their teams have played deep into the tournament. For example, we saw players from Homestead on the ISC Sports Network in the Hall of Fame Classic. Other players that seemingly we've talked about for a long time, like Lily Graves of McCutcheon. We saw Elliott Leffler and Ron Colley had a great run. Particular player or two, Jan, that catches your attention coming in?
You know, it's hard to, because they all can score. Here's what I do find interesting, Greg. over half of these girls are the leading scorer on their high school ball club. That tells you that they can put it in the hoop. There's a lot of great girls. You look down the roster here, Patterson, look at that average, 24 points a game. That's serious for a sophomore who will be a junior.
In terms of, again, players that maybe you've heard of previously that have had, say, deep tournament runs. Well, unfortunately, one of them is hurt. Kendall Hill of South Knox, the 2A champ. She will not be playing today. Claire Larison of Greensburg on the 3A runners-up this past season. But it is also a variety of players that range from the 1A to the 4A level. 1A represented with Hillary Labus of Westfield in the north and Elena Diamond of Lagodi in the south. So, again, we have talented players from all different categories of the state. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll introduce you to the teams when we come back to Fishers as you're watching the Indiana Futures All-Star Game on the ISC Sports Network.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
We welcome you to Victory Field in downtown Indianapolis. Way back, way out of here. That's a home run. He's one of the best hitters in the league. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Warm up the victory bell, a walk-off two-run single.
The team that you see there, that would be the Indiana South girls. And again, there is no distinctive line, so to speak, that we have in terms of North versus South. We simply pick the best 24 freshmen. And sophomores go, okay, let's find a line where we can divide them 12 by 12. So the South represented by Zoe Wood of Mount Vernon of Fortville, Hannah Menser of Plainfield, Mackenzie Cook of Eastern Hancock, Elliot Leffler of Roncalli. Again, Kendall Hill is here but is injured and will not play. Riley Johnson of Heritage Christian, Claire Larison of Greensburg, Caroline Wiggins of Cathedral, Riley Kanan of Evansville Memorial, Peyton Duval of Franklin Central, Elena Diamond of Lagodi, and Paige Schnaus. She and Hannah Menser both returnees. Mackenzie Cook as well from last year's team as freshman. Paige was part of a state championship team at Gibson Southern as a freshman. They lost in the 4A semi-state this year at Gibson Southern. And coaches with state finals experience. Holly Anson-Eves is the head coach of this team. Her team won the 2A title for South Knox. Her assistant, the 1A champ, Matt Vick from Borden. That is the South team that you are seeing in the red. The North are being recognized as we speak, and they're getting their participation certificates. That is Marty Johnson on the right, Bill Zick on the left that's handing out that. The North will wear white uniforms. They'll be the home team in both games tonight. Malika Jenkins of Maryville. Riley Shellhammer, now of Lawrence Central, played her freshman year here. Delaney Knoll of Homestead, her grandfather Doug, the former men's head basketball coach at IPFW. Janiyah Cooper of Fort Wayne Snyder. Tyler Patterson of Hammond Morton. Naomi Hahn of Marion. Susie Perego of Homestead. Lily Graves, a player that has had national level attention after her first 2 years at McCutcheon. Hillary Labus of Westville, Lily Scholl of Northridge, and by the way, the Raiders brought their entire team to watch, which I thought was beyond cool. Addison Hummel of Penn, who unfortunately is injured, but again is here to be a part of this. And Ada Hupfer from Pendleton Heights. Again, that represents the North. Again, normally they'd have tees, matchups, but My goodness, Jan, this is an all-star game.
Yeah.
Anything in particular you're kind of looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking for the intangibles, the extra pass. Everybody wants to score. We talked about this. All of them are good scorers. Who's that player that does the other things that you want to see, not only in an all-star game? Listen, a little different, I think, from the Olders because they still have a lot to prove. And they want, if you don't have somebody looking at you, and a lot of these girls do right now, listen, now's the time to put it up. And I think that's how the mentality will be tonight.
So again, more of the South players are being introduced. This is night 2 of 4 doubleheaders in the state of Indiana. We'll be there for each of the other 2 Wednesday night. Greenfield Central, Indiana Juniors versus the Indiana Seniors. Then on Saturday night, Jan and I are back together again for the finale of the World Series of high school basketball, Indiana versus Kentucky. There is a Friday doubleheader down at Lexington Catholic. No Moonlight Barbecue. Jan and I are not going.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
In protest, in all seriousness, that'll be streamed by a group out of Kentucky. But Jan and I are back together for the games at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Girls game at 5, boys game approximately 7:30 is when that will take place. In case you were not with us yesterday, Indiana swept Kentucky. We can be homers about that. Hooray. The girls team won by 42. Boys team led by 36, ended up being an 11-point game at the end, but still a good sweep for the Indiana Juniors yesterday.
Yeah, Greg, we say this every year. You really like these all-star teams, but, man, I really like the girls and the guys this year. They've got shooters, they've got scorers, they've got height, really on both men's and women's. I really, really like the chances of Indiana taking both games. I really think they can.
Our officials for tonight's contest, Grant Covey, Raven Hubbard, and Michael Mates will be handling all of our officiating duties for this evening's contest. So starters being recognized now for each of the 2 teams. We announced all players in terms of getting them their participation. But the starters for the North, Riley Shellhammer, Naomi Hahn, Susie Perego, Lily Graves. And we have 10 in uniform. Tonight are going to be 9, it looks like, for the North. We will see 9 in action tonight for the North, so plenty of playing time for the North. Lily Scholl rounding out the 5 starters representing the North. For the South, it'll be Hannah Menser of Plainfield. And her dad, Michael, tremendous player at both Bates and Indiana State. Kenzie Cook of Eastern Hancock, averaged 29 points a game last year. She's going to rewrite a lot of record books by the time her days are done at Eastern Hancock. Claire Larison, again, outstanding player. Coach Jason Simpson of Greensburg is here to watch her in today's game. Paige Schnaus also, and Peyton Duval rounding out the action for the South All-Stars. And a quick check for the South. Looks like they will have 11 in today's game.
Great, we got a good crowd here tonight. I just think it's so cool. I think you said 3rd year for this event. And I just really like that it gives the girls an opportunity just to see other players continue working on their game. The exposure is phenomenal.
Well, now in every class of high school basketball, and not 1A through 4A, but freshman through senior, you get a chance to have Indiana across your chest.
Yeah.
And be recognized as one of the best players in your state. Pretty cool. So Schnaus will jump at center for the Gibson Southern junior to be. Lily Graves will have the honors for the North, and we are ready to go. We will play 4 10-minute quarters in tonight's game. So it's the North again, North and white, that will have the basketball to start things off. Not exactly a lot of time to kind of get together and work on offense, but these players know each other so well. Playing at a high level. Graves, the runner, does not go. And the rebound controlled for the South by Kenzie Cook.
Graves got that nice length. She can penetrate the paint.
Takeaway there by Susie Perego. And Susie's offensive stats don't wow you, but that's because she played for a ridiculously deep team at Homestead that brings everybody back, and really one of the potential favorites in 4A this year. A couple of quick turnovers here. We will not keep track of turnovers in this game as an all-star game, nor will we mention after she made that shot that Graves banked that one in.
Well, you talked about how good she was as a freshman. She hasn't stopped at all, getting better every year.
Yeah, she really is a national-level recruit at McCutcheon. She'll be a junior. Left-hand drive, a little bit too strong that time by Menser. Had a chance to catch up with Dad, who's sitting a couple of rows behind us, and he said this is the first summer in a long time that he has not been her AAU coach. He goes, and I kind of like going back to being Dad.
Yeah, I know exactly what he taught. I did some of the coaching, and at some point in time, you go, man, it feels good just to be a dad.
Even when your dad is as well known in basketball circles as Michael is. You're like, you know what? Let's just go be dad for a little bit. Schnauz lays it up and in. Page gets the first bucket of the game for the South. So 3-2 for the North. In North and white, South and red. We do have shot clocks in the building. We're not turning them on tonight because, again, it's an all-star game. You got the ball for more than 30 seconds. Something has gone horrifically wrong. Turnover.
If we get to 15 seconds, it might
right.
might be a long possession. Good to be back at Fishers. Hadn't been here in a while. What a great facility.
Of course, on the boys' side, Fishers runners up this past year. Knocked off by Jeffersonville. The runner does not go, but rebound opportunity is there, and a foul is going to be called. And we'll have free throws coming up. Claire Larison of Greensburg will be shooting the free throws. Well, if you're going to go see one of Claire's games at Greensburg, before or after the game, just go about 20 miles further south on 74. And stop by the Milan 54 Museum. The Milan 54 Hoosiers Museum houses artifacts and memorabilia of the Milan Muncie Central 1954 championship game. Also the largest single collection of items from the movie Hoosiers. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 until 4, 201 West Carr Street in Milan. Milan54.org has more information.
You know, the stat for me that sticks out is just under 8 rebounds a game for her this past year. That's impressive.
Yeah, really part of a big three on that team. Speaking of big threes, that one more conventional by Lily Graves. She's got both buckets from the North so far. Now, West and Wilkeson have both moved on from that Greensburg team and splashed home by Menser.
Menser, she loves a three. Shot it at 38% this past year. Give her a look and she'll nail it.
And Indiana State fans that think back to the days of Menser and Wren, well, now their kids, surprise, surprise, are really good basketball players. Foul called against the South. Free throws coming up for Lily Graves. McCutcheon made the semi-state round this year. Made it to Case Arena in Frankfurt. Warsaw came out of that group of 4 teams to be the runners-up in 4A.
Yeah, Warsaw had an excellent year.
And we'll see a couple of their players playing in the junior-senior game coming up on Wednesday night.
Seems like Warsaw's competing for something just about every year in girls basketball.
Well, they had a really good athletic year, did the Tigers. Football team, the runners-up in 5A. First line change coming in here for the South. Again, they've got 11 in uniform tonight. North only has 9. They have 2 players that are injured and unable to play in tonight's contest.
Listen, one of the things coaches will always tell you in these all-star games is make sure that we get everybody in, get them some ample playing time.
That's the assistant coach's job.
That's
you
right.
are tracking minutes.
Bingo.
And just checked in a 3. It's Riley from Evansville Memorial who gets the rebound. And she's a junior to be, and she'll get an assist this time down. Caroline Wiggins gets the bucket. Caroline plays at Cathedral. Cathedral now in the 3A ranks. Shot does not go. Rebound pulled down by Elena Diamond from Lagodi. Not surprising, a lot of Lagodi Lions t-shirts in the crowd to watch her. The support per capita in Lagodi is off the charts for their athletic programs. I give Greg Bateman at WRZR full credit. On the drive, shot
nice
blocked.
block.
Here comes the 4-person change for the North.
Well, Cannon's 6 foot, and she can defend. Really good timing there to get the block.
Ada Hupfer from Pendleton Heights, who had a really good season. They'll have a representative on the girls' senior all-star team. That's off the back of the foot, off of Cooper. Cooper from Fort Wayne Snyder. So Cooper, Hupfer, Hillary Labus, and Delaney Knoll. Great Fort Wayne representation tonight in these games.
Greg, now you know we're in an all-star game. We got full court press going on. Now we're in the serious mode.
On the drive, scoop shot does not go. That was Zoe Wood of Mount Vernon. Her head coach Julie Shelter here to watch her this evening. Shot taken and missed. take. A good one that would not fall for Elliott Leffler.
Oh, nice pass. Beautiful pass,
Runner
Greg.
is up and good. And that's Lily Graves, and well, she's got all 10 points for the North so far.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Who's going to make those type of really nice passes? There you see one right there.
Jump shot does not go. Hupfer gets the rebound. And loved what Pendleton Heights did this year. They really scheduled up, knowing how talented their team was going to be, including hosting the defending champs at the time in Lawrence Central. And Hupfer gets the trailer three. That's 3 made threes for the North so far, Jim.
Well, she's a double-double player. She's 13 rebounds, 15 a game, and not afraid to shoot it, obviously.
And the steal by the North. Throw it up top off the window. The assist to Knoll, the bucket by Cooper, and we have ourselves an early timeout from the South. It's a 30-second timeout. Let's take a 30-second break as well. North leads by 3 on ISC.
For the first time ever, Hamilton Southeastern Schools is opening its doors
to students residing outside the district.
If you are looking for an award-winning school system
that offers top-tier academics, innovative programs, and endless opportunities,
now is your chance to join us. With more than 21,000 students, HSC is where learning comes to life.
Apply today and become part of a district that's shaping the future. Because at HSC, excellence starts here.
Tonight's game on ISC is brought to us by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. Wants to congratulate Riley Shellhammer, now of Lawrence Central, for playing in tonight's Indiana Futures All-Star Game. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin will name you to know. Find out more at edmartin.com.
Well, White got a little serious there, and Graves hasn't missed a beat, has she?
Ball ripped away. Yeah, I think I'd have her as the one player staying in a 9-player rotation, too. Luke Ertl got 34 minutes yesterday for the Indiana junior boys. It might be that kind of night for Graves, too.
Now you see right there, the one thing she does so well, maybe better than most, is that first step. You know, a lot of girls quick, all those types of things, but man, the first step. Take a look right here. Boom. And she, if you don't react or get backside help, she'll make you pay.
Shooter will come out. So Graves, if she makes it, will exit. Shellhammer is awaiting to replace her. And when you're as good as Lily is, you can wear whatever color shoes you want.
I think she has about 5 colors per shoe.
Kind of like the old Nuggets uniforms back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So 17-12 the score, and Graves exits with 12 of the 17. Full court pickup. Wood no problem leading the break. Turning down the 3 to take the pull-up 2. Not a bad shot, and Hupfer, she can get her hands on it, she's going to own the boards. Nice take to the basket, just couldn't finish, but Cooper will draw a foul and shoot 2.
Well, we're picking up the pace here a little bit. The press by the North has woke everybody up. Now all of a sudden we're up and down, and you see that a lot. You got to get back on defense.
So as Cooper connects or misses in the first of 2, let's thank our friends at Unranked Hoops. They're partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Check out more by logging on to unranked.com. That's UNRNKD.com and sign up for email updates. The pull, left short. Good job by Knoll to square off the rebound. Saw her grandfather here to watch her play this evening, in fact. We referenced him earlier. Foul going to be called.
You know, we don't worry about being in shape. Most of these girls, if not majority, they play some type of AAU. So they've been in basketball mode for some time.
Yeah, basically you've had 2 months of AAU hoops for kids at this level as the shot misses. This is the team month now in June.
Right.
You go back to AAU in July. Step back 3, no good. And Hupfer, well, Hupfer's going to make sure her rebounding stats are going to be quite nice.
Well, she was dominant during the year. How can you not just expect huge things from her this coming year, Greg?
Shellhammer gets fouled. She'll shoot 2. And left that one short. 14 points a game for Fishers.
Well, you look at that Pendleton Heights record, 19-7. They have quite a few coming back. The expectations got to be high in Arabian land.
And this is a year, and obviously with new transfer rules, how teams look are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But if you just base on who's returning, this is the rare year where the favorites in 4A might both be from outside of Indianapolis.
Very possible, yeah.
Homestead on the girls' side and Crown Point on the boys' side. Riley's 3 misses everything, and out of bounds to the south. And south in red, north in white. We'll now refer to that as full court Pacers pickup for the rest of the month.
Wow. Cannon again, Greg, averaged 11, almost 12.
Steal by Wiggins. Wiggins got fouled and won. So Wiggins a chance to add her point total from the free throw line.
Yep, freshman does a good job here of anticipating. She got a lot of playing time, averaged about 11, so you know they're expecting good things from her.
It is a Cathedral team that reached the semi-state round in their first year in 3A in over 20 years with the shrinking of 4A this year. Catch and shoot 3 is good. Hillary from Westville, should be a sophomore. Scoop off the window, does not go. Rebound pulled down by the North. Line change coming in for the South. Another catch and shoot 3. And you can see why the player from Westville, which is a 1A school, is in the top 12 players in her class in Indiana.
She shot at 32%, Greg, behind the arc this year on a team that just lost 3 games.
Pull up? No.
And did I mention she was their leading scorer?
And that's going to be a foul. And we did have a late arrival, which sometimes happens in the Fishers area. You got a 6 o'clock appointment. So there is now 10 here for the North. So Malika Jenkins joins in the mix. She'll join Hahn, Graves, Lily Scholl, Susie Perego. So now you have the 5-on-5 substitutions here for both teams.
Well, that group of 5 did a pretty good job of getting things going there for the home team on the scoreboard.
The drive and kick. Wing 3, splashed home. That is Mackenzie Cook. Again, just shy of 29 a game for Eastern Hancock.
Well, you look at those stats, Greg, and 30% behind the arc, 84% from the free throw line. She did it all.
They made the semi-state final her freshman year. Beaten by Brownstown Central, missed that one. But good job to run the floor, and the bucket is good for Peyton Duvall.
Little run here by the South, 3-point game.
Duvall from Franklin Central. They won their sectional this past year. Led by another Lily Graves, not the one in McCutcheon. Lily Graves, as in her dad Matthew, the head coach at Indiana State on the men's side, and she's going to play at USI. Shot blocked by Duvall. Schnaus the rebound for the South. 3 in the corner is good.
That's impressive, Greg. They're now really getting hot behind that 3.
That's Claire Larison from Greensburg.
Yep.
Tied at 25. Runner by Jenkins does not go, but we'll stay here with the North.
16.5 points per game, 8 rebounds a game.
Hand check foul going to be called, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Bonus look here for Naomi Hahn from Marion. Freshman at 19 points a game. Today's game brought to us by Lori Law. Brady Lori has been serving the citizens of Marion, Johnson, Hamilton, and surrounding counties for over 25 years. If you or someone you know is in criminal trouble or has been injured, make the call to Brady for a consultation. Let Brady's with his negotiating skills and firm experience to work for you. Call 317-250-7783 or email BradyJLaurie@gmail.com.
Well, this group of the the South has done a much better job on the boards to really limit just one shot.
Well, what I note is the fact that both teams are putting up over 25 points in the opening quarter.
Well,
in other words, we're on a 100-point pace.
Yeah, that's not surprising. We knew coming in that these groups of girls could really put it in the hoop.
Jenkins from Merrillville. The step through off the window. Good look that would not go. Perego had it, but she is tied up. And the arrow points in the opposite direction. Closing minute again. We're playing college timing in terms of 10-minute quarters. That's a chance to get players more playing time. Shot was altered, but it went right to the big for the South. But then, ball was touched while out of bounds by Lily Scholl. So the South will have the basketball. Catch and shoot three, no problem.
Yeah, that's automatic, and she makes it look easy. You can just tell, there are shooters or scorers. She's kind of both, but man, she's got a nice-looking jumper.
Cook, her second made three-pointer. Shot blocked. Chance for the South to get to 30, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
Duval, her second field goal.
All of a sudden, the South got a little run there, Greg. Got a 4-point lead.
Graves trying to line it up. She'll pull from the free throw line, miss it. Still time left, and Cook will simply hang on to the basketball. So through one quarter, it's the South that leads the North, 30-26. It's the Indiana Futures All-Star Game. Freshmen and sophomores from across the state. We're back in a moment on ISC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Thanks to our buddy Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance in Avon. You're getting lots of things like cheering team on to victory. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent Nathan Begley is good at your insurance. That's why Nathan's here to help you think through any question about your auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance. Give Nathan a phone call at 317-507-7871. Stop by his office next to Nothing But Cakes in Avon or on 9821 East US Highway 36. Start with Nathan Begley and let's insurance together.
I thought it was a fun first quarter. Both teams really shot the ball well, really have got into it, was really settling down, and a little four-court press has excited me in an all-star game.
Normally we say that's reserved for Indiana versus Kentucky. Apparently that's in use for Indiana versus Indiana as well.
If you're a coach, you're a player, you don't care. You want to win. I don't care what it is.
Three for Riley does not go. Rebound pulled down by the South. Here's Hannah Menser. Menser fires the trailer three and rattles it home. She's got 2 threes, as does Mackenzie Cook. In fact, now 6 made threes for the South.
38% behind the arc. She's not afraid to shoot it and put it in.
7-point lead now for the South. The North had the early advantage. All taken away by Cook.
Well, clearly the Red has got the three-point going. They have really dominated from outside.
Even the center's going to fire. That does not go.
Why not?
Good job by Duval, though. She's fouled. And again, let's also acknowledge that you've got 6'3" and 6'2" on the floor together for the South All-Stars.
I really like Duval. Good length. She's really played hard under there. The sophomore this year, 6'2", you talked about it.
She's got 5. Pretty balanced effort so far for the South. 6 players have 5 or more points. And Graves has been the offensive star so far for the North. She's got a dozen. Duval makes them both. Franklin Central opened their postseason with an outstanding win against Center Grove. Sectional opponents for the first time in some time this year. 3 in the corner for the North is good. That is Hahn. And again, these are the best of the best. And again, you mentioned because of AAU basketball, we should really stop being surprised when freshmen and sophomores can knock down those shots with ease at this point.
Not anymore. In fact, if you're going to stay up with everybody, you've got to be able to do that, quite honestly. That's how it's changed.
But how about the old school high-low that time?
Yeah.
Now, it didn't work, but loved the idea from the South.
Yeah, you talk about Hahn and Marion. She led them in scoring. They were 10 and 14. They're in a little bit of a rebuilding year, but I think they've got some quality personnel, including her coming back.
Shellhammer on the drive, can't finish. Got tied up. And the arrow will send it the other direction. Full court pickup by the North. Seen that sporadically during the early stages of this game. Runner, altered but. Cook got fouled the second time through, and misses first time through.
You know what? How can you not like Cook, the stats she's put up? But I think really one of the things just sticks out. Here's 5'9", Greg, and she can do it all. You don't have to be 6'2" to put up big stats. She clearly represents that.
Maybe from a small school, but certainly a high-level player. Mensert got tripped up, but managed to hang on to possession of the basketball. All arms and legs out there right now. Players have not lacked for effort in the contest. Shot altered, and the rebound out of there for the North. Got a chance, a little open court action here. C. Parts.
Yeah, I don't think you want to leave that open.
No, of all players to leave open, not her. Graves gets it to go. Here comes the line change in for the North. Rebound picked up by the North. In 10 in uniform for the North, 11 for the South. Hahn, a bobble. Graves lines up a 3, a little strong there. And Menser the rebound. Hummel and Patterson unfortunately out tonight for the North All-Stars, both again here. All 3 players that are injured that aren't playing are in attendance tonight. Foul called against Cook, and Riley Shellhammer will get a couple of free throws.
Now a page out of the visitors' teams. Now all of a sudden the home has picked it up. They're getting a good press breaker going, but part of that reason you talked about a little bit of a height advantage for them. They're getting the ball off the rebound and going.
Missed free throw here. And everybody out except for Riley. Elliott Leffler. Riley Johnson.
A rare miss from the free throw line for Shellhammer. She's 87%. She's pretty solid from there.
And like a lot of these kids, she literally lives in the gym.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that explanation. Her dad helps run the facility in Noblesville. Used to be known as the Finch Creek Fieldhouse.
Sure.
So trust me, she has the keys for 24/7 access.
She doesn't have to climb through the window like Larry Bird.
She has a passcode. Parking spot right out front.
That always works well, but Larry used to leave a window open and climb through it.
Her dad, Eric, exceedingly well known in local basketball circles. Great guy. Ball tipped out of bounds. Leffler, part of that Roncalli team that made the semi-state round this past year. Ran into Greensburg in the 3A southern half of the bracket. We had a chance to see them beat Danville at Southmont during the regional round of the tournament for the Royals. Nice step back. Shot missed. Jump ball. And both teams, not surprised, have cooled off a little bit offensively.
Well, they have, but I also think the defense have maybe picked up just a step here in quarter number 2 and made the ability to get off that shot just a little more difficult. Look at the defense right here. You talked about 2 quality post people going at it. There we go. I like it.
Hupfer got tied up with Leffler, and the arrow will keep it here.
That's how you play the game. I don't care if it's all-star or not.
Come on. Up, up.
Wes Radke, the head coach for the North All-Stars. Brad Bousman of Twin Lakes, his assistant. His daughter, part of the senior All-Stars, unfortunately injured, so she won't play, but you'll see her on Wednesday and Saturday. Shot did not go for Labus. Look ahead pass, taken back away by the North.
I thought she had it, Greg. Just let her a little bit.
Trailer 3, that misses everything. The putback, though, is there. That's Delaney Knowles' first bucket. Knoll, part of that Homestead team that, as they do most every year, advances far in the tournament.
Homestead has had a run for a while in girls basketball.
And again, they bring back virtually everybody. We saw Maya Epps yesterday. We'll see her teammate Gabby in the junior game tomorrow night. So Homestead has 4 returning players playing in Indiana All-Star games this week. Kind of gives you an idea as to how good they're going to be. Vacates the lane in time for the 3. That does not go.
They had to work for that one. Little rotation.
Open 3. Got it for Delaney Knoll. Again, Homestead as a team, Jan, was north of 40% from three-point range this season. Leffler shot blocked. And Hupfer corrals another rebound. And now North has numbers. Good look ahead to Knoll. Off the window, no, but she's fouled. And Delaney will shoot 2. Thank our friends at Hamilton Southeastern Schools, of course, our host for tonight's game here at Fishers High School. And for the first time, Hamilton Southeastern Schools are opening their doors to students from outside of the district. At Hamilton Southeastern, excellence starts here. Learn more by going to hseschools.org/enrollment. And HSE wants to congratulate both Cooper Zachary and Jason Gardner Jr. for being named to the Boys Futures team.
Yeah, a couple really quality players right there.
We will not see Jason playing tonight, but Cooper will be in action this evening. And thanks to Jim Brown and Fishers for being such a gracious host. Brownie is a little busy this time of year, every time of year.
Greg, this is my first time for these dynamic scoreboards. I've never seen this time before.
It's first class here.
It's something else.
Every step of the way.
If you haven't seen these scoreboards at Fishers, you need to see them.
3, no. And the shot pulled down by Raleigh Johnson of Heritage Christian. Ball poked away, I think touched last. Yep, touched last by the South, off the hands of an Indiana player.
There you go, look at that. Now that would fit right in your main room, Greg.
Sure, or the side of my house, one of the two.
That's true. State-of-the-art plus.
Knoll. The roll by Hupfer, and she got fouled.
Yeah, and when she goes strong like that, that's what makes her different than so many others. You're going to get contacted. If you go up hard as an official, Greg, most of the time you get this call simply because how hard you go to the rim.
And Ada comes from quite the basketball family. Several Huppers that have played college basketball over the years.
Pretty good free throw shooter. Shot 72% this year.
Makes 1 of 2 here for the 6'3 junior to be. Next line change coming in for the North. With 10, it's pretty easy. Every 4 minutes, a U5 get in there. Shot missed by Menser. Rebounded by the North. Poked away from Hupfer. Again, action has slowed in terms of the point totals, not the actual play in and of itself.
The play actually has got a little more movement to it.
Cook kind of signified that right there. Plenty of movement, just didn't get the bucket. Now she'll score. She's got 8. For the leading score on a per-game basis in terms of those playing in the game tonight. That 3 does not go. Hupfer believes every loose ball is hers on the court.
Well, that's just a mindset. A lot of contact, no call there.
And she and Wiggins going at it. Now numbers the other direction, 5-on-4. Schnaus runs the floor and scores.
That's great what you said there. You know, anybody that's a good rebounder is a good rebounder is that mentality. They do believe that every ball is theirs.
Turnaround off the window, score it. Janiyah Cooper with 5. And Snyder solid every year in girls basketball. She'll just be a sophomore this coming season. She's one of the freshmen playing in the game. Ball out of bounds, and here comes the next 5.
Well, if it's not a Homestead, it's Snyder. If it's not Snyder, it's Homestead. Sometimes it's both.
There's a reason my buddy Dean Pantazzi said, hey, what's the link for the game so we can show highlights on the news tonight? Here you go, my friend.
Did I see where Snyder's getting a new athletic complex or a football field maybe?
Correct.
Huge.
Correct.
Yeah. That's nice.
There have been schools that have still shared fields up at Fort Wayne for quite some time.
I've seen where they're getting state of the art. That's awesome.
Evansville was like that for many years, not the case now. Hahn's 3 rattles home. Hahn was 7. That's her second made 3. And South had built a lead at the end of the opening quarter, but North in front here. Menser tied up. We'll keep it right here with less than 2 to play before halftime. Riley Johnson will check back in. Going to give Cook a breather. While this game's taking place, the boys players taking pictures off to the right-hand side of the court. It is a well-oiled machine that Mike Broughton, Pat McKee, and others have put together.
Yeah, this is awesome. They do such a great job. And if you've ever been around this stuff, Greg, and you have, there is a lot that goes into this stuff.
Shot block, clean block. That's Wiggins. 3 was by Menser. She's got 9. And you see the South kind of now trying to do like individual substitutions here as they're getting towards the end of the half.
Well, you keep it close. You get a lot of playing time in the first half. Then you try to win it at the end.
Graves on the take. No. It was Duval that tracked down the rebound. Spin move by Menser. Her shot was blocked.
Yeah, that's pretty good defense. Talked about that defense here in the second quarter has been, I think, much tighter.
And I think the right call was made. That was a blocked shot. So
that's absolutely a block. That's a good call. No problem with that at all. Hand straight up.
Catch and shoot 3 for Cook.
Bingo. Just so comfortable with her shot. I love to see those players.
Doesn't need much space.
No, and just so confident in their shot.
What you won't want to see is anybody get hurt in this game. Immediately everybody kind of, you hear that thump, you go, okay, you all right? Michelle Hammer will quickly pop back up. I want to recognize our friends at Unranked Hoops, partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Inside the walls, newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis. Unranked provides opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Go to unranked.com. That's UNRNKD.com.
You know, Greg, you talk about confidence and comfort. We're going to see Miss Basketball this coming Saturday who just embellishes comfort and confidence shooting the 3.
Maya Makaleski.
Yes.
Menser for 3 does not go. Maya, of course, going to play at Indiana University. And that transition's pretty quick. Those players play Friday and Saturday, frankly, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and a lot of them then are on their college campuses by Sunday. 4-point lead for the North. Foul against the North. And free throws coming up for Claire Larison. Happen to be good friends that have known Braylon Mullins' dad, Josh, before Braylon was ever around. So Josh entered a chat on a regular basis, and I said, all right, is he in Storrs, Connecticut Sunday? He goes, no, Monday. Got his graduation party on Sunday, and then
he goes to
UConn.
Yeah. Wish him well, man. He's another level. Can't wait to see what he does this weekend.
Ball touched last by Leffler. Out of bounds to the north. And clock is on your screen. I'm going to say it was actually touched last by the north, so Leffler will inbound the ball instead. Larison will pull for three. That one,
I think that was blocked. I didn't see it. Maybe
she thought
not.
so too. She was hoping it was.
Yeah, I think there might have been a hand on that, but we play on.
First of two tonight on the ISC Sports Network. We finally give our crew the night off tomorrow night. Another busy weekend for us at ISC. Jump ball will be called.
It's been a good effort here in this first half, Greg. We've been back and forth. South's had a little lead. Now all of a sudden the North back by one possession. I'd say with pretty good job of leveling out the talent here.
Shellhammer catch and shoot three. Not that time. And the rebound corralled by Wiggins. And clock on your screen. Good look. Duval off the window. Great dime by Menser. And it's going to be a 1-point game at the half. So North 49 and South 48. You're watching the 2025 Indiana Futures Girls All-Star Game live from Fishers on the ISC Sports Network. Mike will come over at some.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Looking for a school district that
challenges, supports, inspires.
Hamilton Southeastern Schools is now accepting non-resident transfer students,
giving families living outside our boundaries the opportunity to be a part of one of Indiana's top school districts.
With state-leading academics, unique hands-on programming, and a vibrant school community,
there's a place for every student to grow and succeed.
Apply now!
And take the next step toward a bright future.
Back at Fishers High School, Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. The action was so frenetic back and forth. We have not thanked our ISC Sports Network crew, so thank you to Kyle Donlin, Dennis Glover, Alec DeFord, Eldon Wheeler, David Kahn, and Jordan Chu on this Monday night. Again, thanks to Jim Brown, Lauren Vota, everybody from Fishers High School being so kind to have us out. How busy are the folks at Fishers? Well, their boys volleyball team played in the state finals this weekend. Their baseball team's playing the sectional final right now. They got a lot of staff here working this game, so we'll make sure we appreciate them as well. Jan, we appreciate the effort from each of these two teams. Again, more points scored in quarter number 1, but still solid in both halves. Who caught your attention here in half number 1?
Well, clearly Graves got things going for the home team early. She looks so mature. I mean, she just comes and you can see why she is so looked at across because she can dribble dry, she can shoot, she brings a lot of presence. I like the way Cook come out and shot the ball. I thought that was impressive too. I thought overall it was a pretty good first half.
Simply put, Graves and Cook are amongst the two most well-known, highly recruited kids in the class that you were seeing, and they're both going to be juniors. Graves has 16, Cook has 11. They have kind of played to their pedigree level so far tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. Two different types of ball players. Cook obviously wants to shoot it, does shoot it from out three, but boy, Graves, she can do so many things.
What also strikes you is the size. Now, this doesn't apply to Cook, but the size of the junior class to be, because Graves really kind of plays as a 3 or a 2 guard.
Right.
She's 6'1". Hupfer is 6'3". Schnauz is 6'2". Diamond is 6'2". Duval is 6'3". Kanaan is 6 foot tall. They're all going to be juniors next year. Claire Larison's 5'11". She's going to be a junior as well. For as deep as we kind of think the girls' class is this year as seniors, 2 years from now we may have the exact same kind of thing here in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, and I had made mention of this earlier when I was last couple of weeks been putting all this stuff together. You know, it just, I go, leading scorer,
Oh, absolutely.
leading scorer. And if they're not the leading scorer, they're also the leading rebounder. So these girls have been put together impressive stats in their first 2 years of playing. And listen, majority of these girls have started since they were freshmen too. Not all, but a lot of them have.
We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our first half highlights. Again, North leads the South 49-48. You're watching the 2025 Indiana Futures Girls All-Star Game here on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Time for highlights from half number one. While we do that, we'll go down the scoring for you. North leads South 49-48. Shellhammer 2, Knoll 5, Cooper 5, Hahn 7, Graves 16, Labus with 6, and Hupfer with 4. Again, 10 played in total, as again, unfortunately, both Patterson and Hummel out due to injury for the Indiana North All-Stars. Cook 11, 8 for Duval, 9 for Menser, 5 for Larison and Wiggins, 5 for Kanan as well, 4 for Schnauz. Zoe Wood, Elliott Leffler, Riley Johnson, and Elena Diamond all played but did not score. Kendall Hill is out due to injuries. So again, that's kind of a rundown of what we saw in half number one. Again, Jan and I will be here for the boys game coming up as well. Jan, let's do a quick peek ahead at that. Anybody in that boys contest that you're can't wait to see about an hour or so from now?
Well, I have to miss Mr. Tonicle's got a young son at Oak Hill that I have never seen play. And of course, he's the head coach at Indiana Wesleyan. There's another really, much like the girls, a lot of guys on these ball clubs were leading scorers and put up some fantastic numbers. I think it should be just as good as this.
We'll see some players that we have seen on a regular basis, guys like Jahari Miller and Isaiah Hill from Pike. Of course, Isaiah at 6'10". Again, the aforementioned Cooper Zachary and Jason Gardner Jr., although Jason Gardner Jr. will not play in tonight's game. And congratulations to Harper Baker Lands of Plainfield. He was offered today by Tulane. He's a junior to be, and he'll play in tonight's contest. We'll take one more quick timeout. Third quarter action from Fishers comes your way next. North leads South 49-48 as you're watching on ISC.
We welcome you to Victory Field in downtown Indianapolis. Way back, way out of here. That's a home run. He's one of the best hitters in the league. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Warm up the victory bell. A walk-off two-run single.
For the first time ever, Hamilton Southeastern Schools is opening its doors
to students residing outside the district.
If you are looking for an award-winning school system
that offers top-tier academics, innovative programs, and endless opportunities,
now is your chance to join us. With more than 21,000 students, HSC is where learning comes to life.
Apply today and become part of a district that's shaping the future. Because at HSC, excellence starts here.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Halftime about to be over. Third quarter about to start for our first of two tonight on the ISC Sports Network. It is the Indiana North All-Stars on the future side in white, the Indiana South All-Stars in red. In North leads South 49-48. Leads have been exchanged. It has not been double digits in either direction in tonight's game. And both teams kind of going with a bit of a mix, kind of changing their lineups here, which I like for half number two.
Yeah, we'll probably see some more of that.
On the drive, shot missed, but going up and getting it, missed again. That's Cooper. Cooper, instead of taking a third shot, finds her teammate in Knoll. Hupfer gets another rebound. Okay, Hupfer gets a second rebound.
How about 6 in that possession?
I was going to say, that's at least 5 shots, and there's going to be one more. You've got the box score in front of you. So we'll see how Miss Hupfer is doing in terms of rebounds. She was listed with 4
Still
in the first half.
To fall. That's a lot of possessions with nothing to show for it.
Menser lets a defender fly by and couldn't finish, and Hupfer adds her a rebound total yet again. The blow by Knoll.
Wow. She read that, Greg. Nobody at all switched over, and just good recognition. Those are the things we talked about. You really like to see out of players recognizing what's there.
And again, you look at Knoll's numbers and you see 6 points a game at Homestead. 30-second timeout's going to be taken by the South. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Again, if you're familiar with just how talented that Homestead group was and how young they were, Knoll deserves to be in this group.
Yeah.
And you have seen that in how she has played tonight. So 30-second timeout taken by the South. I want to thank our friends at the Ed Martin Automotive Group. I want to congratulate Riley Shellhammer, now of Lawrence Central, on playing in the Indiana Futures All-Star Game. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin's the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com.
Well, we get to see a lot of Homestead. You're talking about Noblesville, Southeastern, Fishers, Westfield. Year after year, Homestead's playing one of them either during the regular season or in regional type play.
Both teams have picked up full court or some variation of it. Cooper on the drive, and after missing a couple the first time, now got that to go.
I do say we adopt you in Hamilton County, Greg.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Even though it is my county, you're adopted. You're wild.
I spent enough time here. On the drive, shot altered, but foul going to be called against Cook. And Malika Jenkins will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So free throws coming. This trip to the line brought to us by our friends at Unranked Hoops. Unranked Hoops is partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs in Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Inside the walls of the newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis, Unranked provides opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Go to unranked.com, that's UNRNKD.com.
How about a little pressure, full court, man-to-man defense?
How about a 6-0 start to the half for the North? 90 seconds in. Menser got fouled, and Menser will shoot two. So Menser, 17 points a game. We saw her teammate Berkeley Williams play for the Junior All-Stars yesterday in their impressive victory. Plainfield well represented in both boys and girls. In fact, they have had, as of tonight's game when Harper Baker Lands plays, 4 different players play in the first 4 games we televised of this All-Star week. Knoll on the drive, score it.
Well, that's a couple times that's happened. Wide open layups. All of a sudden we got a 7-point lead.
Yeah, about 8 or 9 is as large as it's been in either direction. Nice step through, scoop and score. Larison.
That was impressive. Larison for Greensburg.
She's got 7. Greensburg lost just 1 time this year, the 3A championship game to Norwell. We'll see Vanessa Rossworm of that team coming up on Wednesday, as Cooper has been the offensive star of this half for the North.
Yeah, that was quite the run by Greensburg. They really had a great year.
And frankly, they weren't really challenged that much during the course of the year. Menser found Schnaus, couldn't find the bucket. Hupper taken away. That's Riley Johnson of Heritage Christian that got the steal.
Oh, good pass.
Shot blocked, that's Cooper.
Cooper getting active, I like it.
Now, she's been the player of the half, but unfortunately turns it over.
Cooper's got some quickness, and she's gotten really active to your point here in quarter 3.
Just a sophomore to beat at Snyder. Hupper.
Hupper really anticipates this one.
Tough angle. And Hupper just kind of kept pushing that wall into Schnaus, and then she gets dinged for the foul. Line change coming in here for the North All-Stars. They'll have a fresh 5 coming in. First one is good. South will do the same. Elena Diamond. Zoe Wood. Caroline Wiggins all re-enter. Elliot Leffler in there too. Free throw is good. Paige has 6.
I like Paige's game.
She had a chance to play with a D1 level player the last couple of years in Gabby Spink. Headed to play at Murray State. Jump ball is called. We'll go the other direction. Again, this is the lone game that these kids will play in this week. This is the only game for the freshmen and sophomores. The next game on Wednesday night will be the juniors versus the seniors. That's at Greenfield. And 6 o'clock start for that. Diamond from the lane banks it in. Diamond gets her first bucket. Averaged 17 points a game for the Lagodi Lions this past season. Shellhammer forced the issue and draws contact, and she will shoot 2. Foul goes against Zoe Wood. Of the 24 invited to play in this game, 10 freshmen, 14 sophomores is the breakdown of the group.
Yeah, and you think about all the schools in the state of Indiana, every team you have to select from, that's a lot of observation. Well, that's where word gets around. Listen, it's most of these girls aren't a surprise, but it's that some of those up north, up south, down south, I should say, that perhaps around here we don't hear as much about.
To your point, Jan, that's north of 400 schools.
Yeah.
Basket cut by Hahn. Could not get it to go. Hahn will shoot 2.
And scouting these girls, that's why social media now for a lot of these girls is such a big piece of getting their name out there, especially, when they're young, and as time goes on, it's amazing how much is out there now that there didn't used to be about all these girls.
You've got several players that play at the 4A level, and as we noted, each team has a 1A player playing in tonight's games as well. So Hahn now in 9. Larison will come in. And Larison fouled. Foul goes against Lily Scholl. Really looking for her first points of the game. She's the only player so far from the North squad yet to get in the scoring column.
Starting to get a little chippy. I like it. A little more contact going on. There's the whistle on that one.
Leffler foul. Leffler and Leffler, Johnson, and Zoe Wood, the lone players yet to score on the South roster.
Watch it coming out. Coming out. Coming out.
Greg, all of a sudden, it's not so easy to score.
Yeah, baskets were hot and heavy in the first quarter.
A lot of stuff at the rim now.
It has slowed since that time.
Yeah, not a lot of threes in quarter 3.
14 sophomores that will be juniors playing in this game. And I bring up that number as that's going to be called a foul, and Zoe Wood will shoot 2. Because next year you'll have 18 players that'll be selected to be on the junior all-star team. 6 that play in both games and 6 each that play one against Kentucky and one against the Indiana seniors. And you're trying to make that 12 or 13 player group that are simply known as Indiana All-Stars. We'll see them make their debut for the week. They all arrive to Marion tomorrow, and then start playing on Wednesday. 5-point lead taken away by Zoe Wood. Wood, the pull up at the elbow, couldn't get it to go. Larison flying in for the rebound, and she is fouled. And Larison will get 2 free throws.
Larison's really shown aggressive play throughout really this whole game, Greg. We talked about her ability to score, rebound, just under 8 a game rebounding. Leading scorer for Greensburg.
And again, she had 2 Division I teammates on that team. West is going to play at Belmont. Wilkinson's going to play at IU Indy. And that's
certainly good to have a girl of her caliber, though, to build around for this coming year, though.
Hahn got it to go.
That was a difficult shot.
Hahn now with 11. She joins Graves in double figures for the North. Runner, no good. Labus got behind the defense and lays it in.
Freebie for the North.
So Labus with 8. And then Perego commits the foul, which means we'll see 2 free throws coming up for Elliot Leffler. Hupfer will check in for the North All-Stars after the first free throw. Kenzie Cook will have the honors for the South.
Well, the South girls are starting to find their way to the free throw line quite often here in quarter three.
So Leffler gets into the scoring column. 18 points a game for her at Roncalli.
77% free throw shooter.
That Roncalli team had a couple of players that had won state championships in volleyball in the fall before playing basketball during the course of the winter.
Still holding at a 2-possession game.
Knoll, Shellhammer, not that time. And the rebound to Larison.
Boy, the outside shooting has just flat out went away.
Cook's going to try to prove you wrong. Still has, Jim.
Good luck. You want her to take that, though. Oh, my. Good idea.
As you mentioned, really good turnout for this game.
It is. And what you got now is you got a lot of the boys supporting group coming in on top of the girls already here. It's really starting to fill in. I like it.
All stripped. That was Wood.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that defense at all. Wood, Mount Vernon Wood, just really good player. Freshman.
Up for the take. Look at Scoop, just couldn't get it to finish, but kept alive by Knoll. Shellhammer will fire, and that does not go. Cook. Head off the window, no. Schnaus runs the floor, gets rewarded. Schnaus with 8.
Schnaus she's just been active. Look out. She's been around the rim most of the game.
Shellhammer has not had the jump shot falling. She's gotten to the free throw line on a regular basis. She'll shoot 2 more here. Duvall and Menser away to check back in for the South All-Stars. Graves will do so for the North. And as you get kind of further in the game now, it becomes, all right, 1 and 2 at a time, unless it's 5 at a time.
The line change has slowed down a little bit. Well, you want to get all that, get everybody some good playing time in half one. Now we're headed towards quarter 4 here at about 3:40, and it's all over. It's the best will play, who's been given effort, who's hot.
Both free throws go for Riley. She's got 5. On the drive, Larison couldn't get the finish. Then she's fouled by Hupper. So Larison will shoot 2.
You mentioned her name quite a bit already tonight. You know, she's those type of players, Greg, or just seems to be always involved, always around the rim, very active. You can see why they were so good this year.
Cooper will come back in. Labus will have a seat. Larison now in 9. And Menser and Cooks 11 lead things for the South. Menser for 3. Not that time. And Knoll. Feed to Cooper. Graves able to save that.
Great hustle.
Cooper flying in, couldn't finish, but hangs around, kept it alive, and Hupper the benefactor.
Under stays with it, finally gets something in there.
And Graves was 16, but most of her damage was done very early. She scored the first 10 points for the North in today's game. It's going to be a foul.
We're just seeing a lot of effort and hustle plays now. That's what's equaling the scoring.
So Cook to the free throw line. Riley Johnson will check in momentarily. Miss from the line. Malika Jenkins will come back in for the North. Shellhammer will have a seat.
I think Cook's mad at herself. She's a 84% free throw shooter. I think she's missed 2 now.
Riley Kanan back in there now for the South as well. All out of bounds.
Men's are great anticipation there defensively.
Cook with 12. So 6-point game. Knoll the take. Good look that wouldn't go. But now an open three that
there
is
we go.
Drained by Jenkins, her first field goal. Back to a 9-point lead. This is about as large as it's been for the North. You see the records, by the way, at 1-1. That's the historical series. Two teams have split the first two matchups over the last 2 years. Jenkins had the ball knocked away. Good diving effort by Johnson. And that'll be a jump ball. It'll stay right here. Get the boys' game scheduled a tip at 8 o'clock this evening. Have that for you as well. Cooper fires a three. That does not go. And Hupfer the last to tip the ball away. Cook, quality move there. On the drive, it just went right into the defender. Hupfer couldn't hang on to it.
But her size, Greg, she's not afraid to go at it. I like the no call there. I think she was aggressive toward the defender. Defender kind of held their own. I like the no call.
Watch them roll back.
You give me a backcourt of Menser and Cook, I can win some basketball games, Jan.
Yeah, maybe I could too.
Serious speed is part of that group. And Johnson is fouled, and Riley will shoot two. Riley trying to break into the scoring column. Plays for obviously what is one of the historically great girls basketball programs in the state at Heritage Christian.
Yes.
They had worked their way all the way from 2A to 4A for a handful of years. And they've had multiple alums playing in the WNBA. Johnson makes one of two. Cooper off the window, score it. And Cooper frankly has a gear that nobody else on the floor has, Jan.
Yeah. Those are the difference makers when you do have that quickness or that extra gear.
Cook went right by her, pulls, and scores.
She just has court awareness. The thing I like about her, she sees the court so well. Great recognition.
Nobody ever stopped ball. Cooper says, fine, I'll shoot it. Was a good shot in terms of the shot selection.
Nice look.
On the turn by Johnson.
Beautiful assist out there, Greg, by Menser.
We now know the Heritage Christian teammates are sitting right behind us, by the way, too. 75-69. Off the hands of Graves. Turnover. Well, again, players that, have certainly caught your attention tonight. Delaney Knoll, Janiah Cooper, Lily Graves. Hans had 11 as well. And most of these players have played right at about 15 minutes in this game so far. Give or take a minute or two. Kanan, Duval, foul. And Duval will shoot two. Been impressed by Duval as well.
Yeah, 6'2", and she likes to play around the block. Some tall people that's not comfortable there, some are, and she's one of those girls, I mentioned that earlier, Greg, that she plays around the block of the rim and not only enjoys it, has been very aggressive down there.
Connects on both.
Just because you're a guy 6'7", 6'9", doesn't make you comfortable down at the block, nor so girls in the 6'2", 6'3". It's a different type of game down around the rim and the block.
Cooper.
Wow.
Got it.
She's come alive here, hasn't she, in quarter three?
Cooper with 13.
Yes.
Frankly, Graves kind of carried it early. Cooper has carried them as of late.
Yeah, no question about it. Look at a little dribble exhibition here for her, and just a little dipsy doodle.
She's got 13. And the lead is 6 for the North. It was 1 at halftime. Connects on that.
Just was a freshman, going to be a sophomore.
Averaged 15 points a game her freshman year at Snyder. Closing seconds, Menser finds space and scores.
You keep mentioning Menser. Every time I turn around, you're mentioning Menser again.
Steal in time.
Damn it. Nope.
But Wood could not get it to go. 5-point game at the break. 78-73 North leads South. We're back for fourth quarter action next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Back at Fishers High School, Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. Thanks to Dennis Glover, Eldon Wheeler, the Kyle Donlin, A-Truth, Alec DeFord. Thanks to David Kahn and Jordan Shue. All their hard work tonight. And every time we see them on ISC.
Greg, it is go time.
Yes, it is.
All-star games, you kind of see where you're at. Quarters 1, 2, and 3. Now it is flat out go time. Oh.
Right idea, but a turnover. 5 on the floor. Kanan, Wood, Duval, Menser, and Johnson for the South. Hahn, Shellhammer, Parego, Labus, and Scholl for the North.
See which player kind of wakes up here in quarter 4 and is that difference maker.
Shellhammer pulls, just has not had a good night shooting. Hahn couldn't hang on to the rebound. Last touch by Zoe Wood.
You know, Hahn's played hard. You know, she averages 19, just under double digits in rebounds per game this past year, and she's been around the rim in this game.
Marion now in 3A. Taken away by the South on the drive, off the window,
there she
score
is
it.
Again.
Riley Johnson with 5.
Riley Johnson, Heritage Christian, making herself known.
Sees part for Scholl, and then Kanan closed the door. Duval, a rejection. Is there one more coming? Well, there was a foul. So free throws coming up.
Kanan, good reaction there to get that clean block. Evansville Memorial.
Today's game brought to us apart by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're good at lots of things, like cheering your team on to victory. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent Nathan Begley is good at your insurance. That's why Nathan's here to help you think through any question about your auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance. Talk to Nathan in person. Call 317-507-7871. He wants to congratulate Hannah Menser of Plainfield for playing in today's Indiana Futures game.
And I don't blame him. She's played well, too.
Nathan sponsoring all the players from Hendricks County that are playing this week.
That's awesome. That really is supporting around your area. I like that.
Talk your white.
So North, 4-point lead. South the ball with 8:48 to go.
Up.
Menser, tough shot.
Rebound, let's go.
Rebound to Hahn. Hahn leads the break. Good take by Hahn, absolutely.
Little hesitation dribble right there, Greg. Got her some separation. Really nice move that time by Hahn.
You would say a star in the future. She might be a star right now.
I think she is.
Three in the corner for Johnson. High archer does not go. Scholl, the weak side glass. Able to work through 3 defenders, one of her own teammates. Good help side by Kanan. And I have to make sure that I am not doing the Indianapolis Canaan thing every time I see that name. It's a different spelling, but it's close enough. I have 25 years of habits of saying Tony Canaan and say it the more biblical pronunciation of Canaan with that last name.
Hey, I'm all about Canaan. I like Canaan.
You, of all my friends I can make that reference to, you know your audience.
Yes, you do.
Shellhammer. Shot blocked. That was Wiggins on the drive. Perego the block, but there's Cook. Just kind of hanging around and finds it. She's got 16.
Cook came out of nowhere that time.
Shellhammer. Got it. Again, she's a really talented player. She has really played at kind of a national level as a youngster. She's got a very bright basketball future. Takeaway.
The numbers.
Shellhammer pulls for the jump shot, and once one goes in, here comes the rest. She's now got 10, and again, knows this gym well, having played here this past year.
Let's go. Run it down.
North on the run, Greg. They have just flat out off to the races here.
And that is Lily Scholl's first basket. And that is also an 11-point lead for the North, first double-digit lead for either side. Full timeout. Let's take it with them. 7 minutes left to play. North leads it by 11 here at ISC.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Let's thank our friends at Unranked Hoops. They're partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike, EYBL, AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops, dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts in the fall of 2025. That's a few months from now. Inside the walls of the newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis, Unranked provides opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Check out unranked.com. That's UNRNKD.com.
Greg, look what we got for lineups out on the floor now. Both teams a little bit quicker, a little bit smaller. Pressure and transition on the floor right now.
Tipped away, taken away by Hahn. And Hahn leads the break. Hahn all the way down.
Kind of the storyline for this North team. Pressure and transition.
15 for Hahn. Guess who's playing defense the other end? Hahn. Shellhammer will pull and score again.
She's flat out broke this game open now.
Now she's got a dozen, and simply put, Jan, she's making shots she's been taking most of the night. Finally get them to go. Cook at the other end, no.
Oh, good offensive rebound.
That's Larison.
Larison, I've mentioned her multiple times. She's that player who's continually at least some hope for the visiting team on the scoreboard around the rim.
And it's going to be a foul. Third foul against the South here in the quarter, non-shooting foul. Here comes the line change. Kanan, Duval, Menser, and Wood back in for the South. Larison, Wiggins, Schnauz, and Leffler have a seat. Shellhammer.
Why not? She's hit like 3 in a row.
That shot a little bit long.
Yeah, that a good look at it.
Here's Perego. Pulls and left it short. Cook. Floater from the lane. Good look that would not go. Good rebound, though. And Menser steps into the void and misses. Wood for three. Got it.
Boy, they need some of that.
Her first field goal. She's got 4 points.
Back to 10.
That'll be a blocking foul. And Perego quickly helped back up. 4th foul, no free throws there. And the 5 bench players are now the 5 on the floor for the North. Cooper, Graves, Hupfer, Jenkins, and Knoll. That's a pretty good 5 that are coming back on the floor. Great job by the group that's just exiting, though.
Yeah, a little bit quicker, the 5 that's set down, a little bit taller on this one. This line change for the home team.
Cooper.
Man, she's been a difference.
That's a heck of a move.
Yeah, that's a different type of player right there. She's really brought her game here in quarters 3 and 4.
All of a sudden, 4 players, double figures now for the North as they are inching closer to 100. Line drive 3 for Menser does not go. And here's Jenkins.
Wood getting pesky on defense.
Good basket cut by Knoll. Cook altered the shot, but Knoll, left hand, couldn't finish. Hupfer collecting the loose change as she has done all night long.
She has.
And Ada Hupfer will shoot 2.
See the shoes there in the picture of this. Quite the bright pink shoes.
Up and good for Hupfer. She's got 7. Everybody's got a pair of pink high tops at home, right, Jen? I have one. You?
No.
Okay.
If you gave me some, I would take it.
We got a similar shoe size. You can borrow them at some point in time.
Hey, listen, I got 5 granddaughters. Trust me, I'm all into pink.
8 for Hupfer. Wood, nice move. And gets the bounce.
Got the roll.
Part of a program that wins consistently under Julie Sheldon at Mount Vernon. Of course, Julie, heck of a player of her own right in her days at Butler. Nice basket cut by Knoll.
That's
good look by Hupfer.
Hupfer, just a little 2-man play. Those are those types of plays we talk about. Those are just great basketball plays.
And love the recognition by Hupfer. You see her then immediately as she made it with the congratulatory point. Well done. So 14-point lead for the North. Cook fires, no. Graves at inside position. Hupfer gets the rebound. Ball finds Cooper. Has all day to line it up. Doesn't get the roll, but there's Knoll again. Another 3. That also no good. And Menser out of there with it. Time counting down with 3:25, and Menser and Jenkins get tied up immediately. Menser reaches over and says, hey, my apologies. As they got a little entangled there. Larison will come in. Kanan will have a seat. All knocked away. Another steal. That's Jenkins. Jenkins forced the issue. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound collected by Duval. Hupfer ties her up. Foul against Hupfer. This is the 2nd foul of the quarter against the North. This one certainly trending in the direction of a North win.
You know, Greg, what we've seen out of Jenkins, though, is her ability to be defender. I mean, she makes a lot of difficulty for those point guards with her defense. That's what's really kind of impressed me about her. The first time I've seen Jenkins play is her ability to really defend the point guards really just as they cross the 10-second line.
Cook turns. Great move, just didn't finish, but again, Cook's certainly been one of the most impressive players in this game. Misses that one, and Hupfer has played her part.
Hupfer's just been solid all game.
As she was thinking about the 60-foot outlet pass and thought better of it. Ball tipped away by Duval. We will name our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game at the conclusion of this one. We will take a break in between our 2 games. Come back about 3 or 4 minutes before the introduction of the lineups for Game number
what
2.
A pretty
Huffer.
Huffer's been impressive, Greg. You got to feel good about building a team around her for next year.
6 players in double digits as she gets points, 99 and 100 for the North.
Bingo.
3 for Zoe Wood. She has come on late in the game.
Yeah.
She's got 9. Well, North will get the second win in 3 years in the series. Knoll score that one too. Knoll with 13.
Rotate up.
3 for Cook. Got it.
She got 1 to go.
Cook with a game-high 19 points. A good hustle by Zoe Wood, having a good finish to this one. Hands by Knoll, knocks out of bounds. Johnson now will check in. In our coverage, let's say approximately 7:55 for game number 2 tonight.
That boys' game is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. A lot of young men that we've called and upcoming, and just really, I think, a good group coming up here in this game number 2.
Some fresh legs here for the South. Going to be a foul going to be called. 3rd foul against the North.
I don't think Cooper can believe it.
That's the voice of Wes Radke, wanting to make sure he gets that coaching W on the sideline. Head coach of the Bombers led them to the 2A runner-up position this year to South Knox. South Knox was one of the top 10 teams in the state in all classes all year long.
They were.
Their losses were to Hamilton Southeastern and Homestead the same day at the Hall of Fame Classic that we had on ISC.
Oh, what a pretty pass.
Graves will slow things down. Of course, we'll have the Hall of Fame Classic on ISC again this year. New dates this year, December 22nd and 23rd, before Christmas for those 2 games. Girls games on the 22nd, boys the 23rd. Foul, and Hahn will get some free throws here. Hahn from the line tonight, 3 of 4 so far.
I've been impressed with Hahn. I think she's well represented. Marion, her school, be a sophomore. 20 points, just under 20, Greg, as a freshman for Marion.
So 13-point lead. Minute left to play. And really didn't see that separation until the 4th quarter between these 2 teams. Ball poked away, it'll be out of bounds to the South. Thanks to the folks at Fishers for hosting our event tonight.
Well, I think Graves got it started. Really played well in the first half. She's played well all game, but I think Cooper was a spark in half number 2 that kind of finalized it all.
Wiggins throws it away. And
a lot of good play by a lot of players, but
three does not go. Wiggins flies in for the rebound. Diamond could hang on to that one. An outcome of this one no longer in doubt. And it is okay to fire it up one more time in an all-star game scenario. Trying to add to that point total, even with a 13-point lead. That three is good for Malika Jenkins. She'll finish with 8 points. Well, final score not indicative of the competitive nature of this game, but North got it done in half number 2. What was a 1-point lead at halftime finishes as a 14-point lead as Diamond gets that bucket to finish things up. Let's recognize now our Boilermakers local 374 blue-collar player of the game, and it will be Lily Graves.
Yeah, that's a great call. I thought she really got their team off to a good start. You highlighted how many schools are looking at her because she can just do it all. You know, she's outside, she's inside, moves so well, Greg, and highlights by shooting like that.
Become a Union Boilermaker. Be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. Graves with 16. She finishes tied for team high with Jemiah Cooper. Also Naomi Hahn with 16 as well for the North All-Stars. Leading scorer was actually Mackenzie Cook of the South All-Stars, as she finished with 19 points. 11 for Larison, 13 for Menser, 10 for Duval for those on the South. Tonight's game presented in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. By Galitko and Daly, work injury lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools, open to students outside of the HSE district. Learn more at hseschools.org. By Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance in Avon. Call Nathan Begley today and let's insurance together. And by Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Eurostyle basketball academy that starts this fall. Check out unrnkd.com. For Jan Bozier and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. We'll join you for the boys' game in about 20 minutes. Congratulations to all 24 of these ladies being selected to represent their class as well as their community and the state. Final score, North wins 106-92. Goodbye for now on ISC.